students, welcome to the BA First Sem Basic English course. I am Dr. Vidya Patil, serving as Assistant Professor of English at Government First Grade Women's College, Bidar. In today's video, we will be discussing about the first lesson, that is Women's Hurdles. This lesson has been taken from your first unit based on gender and discrimination. So students, as I have already told you, the title of your first lesson is Women's Hurdles. In this lesson, you will be trying to understand the various obstacles which we come across as women on our day-to-day journey towards attaining success. In ancient times, women have been treated as goddesses, especially in India. We find that there are so many deities such as Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, Parvati, Bhavani, Kali, and innumerable such deities who all represent various positive aspects of human nature. But in somewhere during the Middle Ages, we find that the status of women began to decrease and women were considered to be inferior to men. In the earlier times, the roles of men and women were clearly defined. There was a boundary between the roles assigned to men and women. Men were assigned work outside the home, whereas women were assigned the household chores. And that is how these boundaries between the roles of our men and women were also fixed. But nowadays we find that these boundaries have been blurred. The distinction between the roles of men and women has changed considerably. Nowadays, women are having full-time careers and men are also found helping with the household chores. In the modern age of globalization and liberalization, the roles of Indian women have changed considerably. We find that Indian women have started working and are professional and at the same time are taking care of their homes also. As a result, working women have to face a lot of pressure because they have to handle the cutthroat competition on the one hand and take care of the children and the family on the other. There has been the concept of sharing the load is absent in our Indian society. And so we find that there is a greater burden on the woman to not only take care of her own profession, but also manage the household chores without the help of the man. So that is why it is very necessary that these roles be reassigned for men and women. There are various obstacles which Indian women are facing at present. Some of them are as mentioned on the screen in front of you. I'll just read out these various obstacles. Selective abortion and female infanticide. This happens usually before the birth of the girl child or just immediately after the birth of the girl child. Dowry and bride burning, which is a important social evil which needs to be abolished and which takes place at the time of marriage of the girl child. Domestic violence is violence against women by the family members, male family members at home. Disparity in education, where girls are not encouraged to go in for education. Inadequate nutrition, because women are usually eat the leftover food or do not pay much attention to the nutrition part of their food. Then we have child marriages, So generally, women are married when they are quite young, and so they have to face early pregnancies and other related health issues. Sexual harassment. Every other day, we keep hearing about so many rape cases and eve teasing cases. So, there are different forms of sexual harassment which Indian women have to face. There is domestic violence and the status of the woman in the family, which is under question because, in spite of being earning members, women do not get the respect which they deserve in their family. And the status of the widows is also quite deplorable in many of the Indian communities. So we can see that there are various issues which women have to tackle on a daily basis for their survival, for their existence, and for trying to save or carve out their own identity. Indian women face severe social as well as financial problems throughout their life. The percentage of education of girls or the literacy rate of girls is comparatively low in India compared to that of men. This is all the more so in rural areas. Girls are continuously discouraged from higher education, especially from professional and technical education. As women do not go in for higher education, they generally find it difficult to get good jobs. They find it very difficult to find suitable jobs for themselves. They are also prone to a lot of exploitation and harassment in the workplace. Sexual harassment in the workplace has become a very common problem which needs to be attended to immediately. Women also have to face the glass ceiling concept as well as pay disparity. Glass ceiling is the bias which women have to face because of which they are not able to take up leadership positions. So, we find that women generally have to work much more to show their sincerity and their devotion towards their work and their professionalism. Generally, it is the phrase which is used is that women need to break the glass ceiling in order to attain success. Also, we find pay disparity. That is, the men and women are paid unequally for the same work. Usually, men are paid much higher than women for the same work, or sometimes even lesser work when compared to that of women. Women are given more work and much more difficult tasks in order to prove their seriousness towards work. So we find that the life of a working woman is also very difficult. So students, I am sure you have now understood what are the various obstacles or hurdles which women have to face in their lives. I am sure many of you may have experienced some of these obstacles already in your life. But we need to realize that we need to work harder, develop our skills, and overcome these hurdles in order to achieve our goals and develop a more equitable society so that we can hand over the next generation a much better society where the women will have equal love and respect as compared to that of men. I hope students that you like this video. Thank you.